What is up, guys? Jordan here with the Deck Box, coming back to you guys tonight with some more content. And what we're going to be looking at tonight is actually what it costs nowadays to have kind of a low to mid-range budget deck. Before we hop into that, though, just want to say a few things. Obviously, Happy New Year's. This will be the first video of ours coming out for the new year. And I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that's checked out our channel so far. It's truly meant a lot to us. At the time of filming, I think we're up to 58 subscribers, a couple hundred over 3,000 views, something like that. And we greatly appreciate it. It really means a lot to us. We appreciate the comments that you guys leave. We appreciate the feedback. It's really helped us to grow, and I think things are definitely looking great for the channel. So thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. Next thing, sorry, my throat, I'm recovering from a really bad cold this past weekend, so it's going to be kind of raspy throughout this video, so I do apologize for that. But next thing is, obviously, with the new year, people are talking about their New Year's resolutions and things like that. I gotta be honest, I'm not typically one for resolutions, but I wanted to lay out my plans for this channel over the next year. And the reason I say a plan is because, to me, a resolution sounds like something that you're trying for, like you're gambling on yourself. But a plan is, these are the things I'm going to put into action to make those goals a reality. And to me, that makes more sense. I'd rather have the plan to make something happen than the goals. So my plans for the new year, personally, for my involvement with the channel, mainly is going to be involved streaming. Up to this point, Eric and I have only done just our channel with PTCGO mostly, and I think that's kind of where we're gonna stick things, because it seems to be going pretty well for us, and it's something that we both enjoy, and it comes pretty easily for us. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy it, and I enjoy it because it's something that I feel like I'm decent at. So it's kind of a comfort zone. I want to stretch from there, and so the next step, obviously, would be streaming. And to me, streaming would be a ton of fun, because I get these comments from you guys after the videos have gone out, and I can respond to them after the fact. But to be able to stream and to have that back and forth conversation as we do the stream, to me, it would just be so much more fun, so much more interactive, and give me more of a chance to interact with some of the viewers, and vice versa, for you guys to be able to interact with us. Or to interact with us, rather, excuse me. So that is my main goal, I guess. It's a plan. The plan is I will be doing streaming. Don't know when exactly in the new year, but I will be starting it up once our basement's finished up. You can always see these beams back behind me. We've been working on our basement for a few months now, and we're actually kind of in the final stages. Basically, electrical, drywall, and carpeting put in. And so we're just in the last few stages of that, and then I'll have my own personal space to record, to stream, everything Pokemon all the time. It's gonna be great. So that is definitely the plan, is to stream. And then the other plan for me is, excuse me, the other plan for me is to just expand my, I guess, contacts or group of influence within the community. Right now, it's me and Erica. I have a little bit of interaction with some guys that I've met from visiting and talking with online a little bit, but no like true community of people I can go to and say, hey, I need some advice in this, or I need some help on this sort of thing. And what I mean is things involving the channel. So that is something that I am definitely planning on doing, is kind of broadening my scope, putting myself out there more, and hopefully bringing myself into other people's circles to kind of help me grow as a content provider and eventually as a streamer. So guys, that is my intro to 2018. I hope you guys will join us for the ride. Now what we're gonna do is actually talk a little bit about how much it costs to build a low to mid-range budget deck. So now we're going to hop to our playmat screen and show that off a little bit and go through those prices. Okay guys, so the deck that we're going to be profiling for this, I guess, deck cost analysis, is actually the hot trash list that I recently profiled on PTCGO and kind of showed off to you guys. So I've adjusted it based on what I remember being in my deck box, and kind of a little background story of as to why I'm doing this video is because after Memphis, my main deck box went missing, and it had this list in it. It had all my dice, damage, all my damage counters, GX marker, all that stuff. I mean, everything. And it had 2 of my 3 Tapu Leles in it. I mean, just so much money's worth. So I said, I obviously need to buy more Lele, but I also need to pick up some of those pieces because there were pieces that I kind of needed. All these cards that I was missing. So I said, I'm going to go buy every card, or at least price them out. I didn't end up having to buy every single one. I had extras of a lot of them, but the core of the deck I did not have extras of. So I said, I'm going to go buy all these pieces. I'm going to price out the rest of them, and figure up how much it costs to build kind of a low to mid-range Pokemon deck these days. I thought it might be an interesting thing for you guys to see, and just something to consider when you're building your decks. And I don't want this to in any way discourage anyone from building decks or being involved in Pokemon. That's not my intent. I just feel that it would be interesting, and honestly kind of a reason for people to better take care of their cards after seeing this, because they do cost quite a bit of money, and we're going to get right into that right now. So, starting off for this list, we do have 3 Ho-Oh GXs. Now, these Ho-Ohs were 3 various rarities. The main one from the set, the promo one that came out in tins, and then the full art one. So they were each, see, the first one was $2, $3, and $6 were those. So $11 for those 3 Ho-Ohs right there. Next, we had 2 Salandits, 10 cents a piece, nothing to write home about. And then 2 Salazzles for $2 a piece. And then we had 2 Turtonators also going in at $2 a piece. These are some of the cheaper GXs right now. Excuse me. Then we do have 1 Volcanion, the baby Volcanion right there. And that is the reverse hollow version. I went with the cheapest variant I could find of these. And that Volcanion was $1. Then, of course, 2 Tapu Leles, and this is where things get pricey. This is going to be in most of your lists, and they are running about $40 for the regular rare right now. Then in this list, if you've seen the other video profiling it, going over, you'll understand why these next cards are in there. If you haven't, go check it out, and it'll explain this. We have 2 Trubbish, again, 10-cent cards, nothing too major. But then we also have 2 Garbotoxin Garbs, and they are $3 a piece. So right there, covering our Pokemon line, you are looking at, let's see here, 11, 13, 15, 16, 96, a little over $102 just for the Pokemon. And that's going to be the large chunk of your spending whenever you get into this, will be your Pokemon. And mainly, excuse me, mainly because of cards like Tapu Lele. So, yeah. So moving on into the next chunk will be our trainers, and that'll include all of our supporters, items, and so on. So we have 4 float stones, and these are running right now about $3 a piece. And then we have 4 choice bands. These are running about $1 a piece right now. Very useful card in many decks. So $1 a piece on those. And I know a lot of people have a ton of them if you bought boxes. It was Guardians Rising, so a lot of people have these because they bought a lot of boxes. Next to Kukui, these are about like 25-cent cards. Nothing too expensive. I've seen a little bit more play here recently, but still not enough to boost the price very much. Then we have 4 Ultra Ball. Excuse me, sorry guys. 4 Ultra Ball, pretty much a staple in all of our decks. They are about 50 cents a piece right now. Then we have 3 Sycamore, best draw supporter in the game. Next to N, this is $2 a piece right now. And N is $4 a piece, obviously depending on the rarity. I know there's some reverse hollows that kind of bump it up a little bit, but again, this is base rarity. I'm going to scoot this pile up here, sorry about that. Then we're looking at 2 Kiawe. These again, they're about 25-cent cards. They're good cards, but they're not in every deck. You know, they're mainly just fire decks, so that's why those are only about 25 cents a piece. Then we have 3 Guzma, one of our new great supporters, at $2 a piece. Then we have 2 Field Blower. These are about 10-cent cards. You can find these in a lot of 10-cent bins and things like that. And I do know a lot of these cards you can go to their stores, particularly where I live, called like Vintage Stock or V Stock. I'm not sure how many of you know of those, but they're like larger retail stores that also sell used Pokemon cards. They have 10-cent bins, and you can find a lot of these in there. But from your typical card shop, these are the prices. Next, this one really kind of surprised me. I knew this was up to about $6 before, but now Max Elixirs are at $8 a piece. So these 4 cards right here, just, you know, item cards, $32 just for these 4. And those went missing. Then 1 Rescue Stretcher, again, like a 10-cent card, nothing major there. So not too terribly bad on the trainers and supporters. And we'll figure out that number here in a second and kind of give a grand total. Sorry, the camera moved there. Then we also, of course, just have 11 Fire Energy. And what these, I mean, most people have at least 10 to 20 of every type of energy in their collection, especially nowadays. You get 1 energy card in each of your packs, so you're going to be getting a decent amount of these as you collect. But if you're like me, I had some of the promo ones that typically run about $2 to $3 a piece. Yeah, I had a bunch of those in there, and so that would tack it up a little bit. We're not going to include that in our cost. If you do have to buy these from like a bigger store, depending on where you get them from, again, if it's like a V-Stock place, you'll find them in their 10-cent bin, but a lot of places I know will sell you, 100 for like $1 or something like that. I don't know. So now, guys, we're going to tally this up, and we'll get that total up for you. Okay, guys, so for this list alone, if you were to buy every single one of these cards from scratch, you are looking at a grand total of $185.70. And now that is obviously if you didn't buy a box and packs or whatever to kind of build your decks, which if you're starting a collection, or if you're starting to get into the game rather, I think that's the fun way to do it. I also think you can get a lot more fun ideas that way, and kind of work your way up from there, and trade with people. Trading is definitely a great way to get some of these cards cheaper, and obviously boxes, you can get lucky and end up with more than what you paid for, which is great. However, just keep this in mind. Like I said, this isn't to discourage anyone from saying, oh, the game's too expensive or whatever. It's really not over time, because what you have to think about is at least, I would say, 65 to 75% of the cards that you use in each of your lists pretty much go in many of your other lists. So you're going to be able to use them numerous times. This would only begin to add up if you're a person that likes to keep 4 or 5 decks on them. Like myself, I like to do that if I can. But a lot of your lists are going to have 7 to 10 energies, so that's 1/6 of your deck out of the way of the cost. And then, like I said, staples like Sycamore and Ultra Ball, those will be in a lot of your decks. So just the main thing that I want people to understand about this is that your cards are valuable in total. Maybe not individually, $6 here and there, $2, whatever, not a bunch, but in total, it's something that you do need to take care of and that you do need to keep track of. This is a lesson for everyone else as well as myself. Don't leave your deck boxes lying around. Excuse me. Treat them with due respect and save yourself $185 on a new deck. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like if you have, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. We're always welcoming new subscribers here, and you could be our first for the new year. So guys, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I have been Jordan with the Deck Box, where we want to know what is in your box. Have a great night, guys, and a happy new year.